What's up, everyone? Another progress update video. We're getting pretty close on the wheel item content now, so let me show you that. Sure, I got all the audio off here. All right, so put this in full screen just so that you get a better look at the wheels. Go to PlayStation 2. So as you can see, the performance is still good with these custom wheel items. Let me scroll up and down. As you can see, I've made a lot of progress now. We're pulling in various metadata images now. We're pulling in clear logo, the platform clear logo, and now able to translate the community or user rating value and translate it to an image, which is the same logic as goes into both of these. All right. And I'm just going to spin through some of the views here just so that you get to see what I've done. Now, this was kind of overkill, but I wanted to see what would happen. I don't know if you can really make out what's going on here, but the whole thing goes color when it's selected. The selected wheel item is in color. Otherwise, it's black and white, as you can see here and here, black and white. I just wanted to see what the performance would be like, and it's not good at all. So I would advise against it. Unless you limit the number of items that you're physically, displaying in the wheel, then obviously that's the trade-off, right? So it's always a balancing act, but I didn't want to remove functionality just in case you wanted to do something like this. All right. So that's another view with another set of wheel templates. And again, here's another one. This time I'm not messing around with the color. It's just standard. We've seen that. Yeah. And then I was looking at Viking's post the other day, and I could see that he's prototyping something. So as I get the functionality into the wheel item, I'll blow this out and kind of mimic what he's wanting to achieve with, I think it's V3 of the colorful theme. So again, this is a platform view, and I can just spin through the list here. I believe this is how he had it. Obviously, I'm missing elements, but as you can see, I've got a big question mark in there because there is no image, and I've make conditioning in there to say if I don't have an image for this device, or if I don't have a device image, make this piece of text visible. So I've got a big fat question mark. So really, I just wanted to test visibility conditioning, and obviously color conditioning is working. As you can see, for the selected item, it goes this mauve or reddish color when it's selected. All right. And then obviously we got the text list, so we don't need to see that. So let's take a look at how some of these templates are constructed. So I've got two platform wheels over here. This is the Viking one. So let's hop in there real quick. So we've got visibility conditioning on the text. And if you're familiar with visibility conditioning, obviously if you've done it in a regular view, then it's exactly the same functionality here. It's just I'm allowing it. So I'm just saying here that the text is visible if the wheel item image 1 doesn't exist and wheel item image 1 pertains to a device. Then we have a rectangle, and that's got color conditions. And I'm saying it's this light gray, otherwise it's red when selected. And then we have another visibility condition, and this is for an element. It's exactly the same rectangle underneath, but it has a shadow. So I can prove that by just making it visible. Okay, and it's underneath the rectangle you do see. So I'm going to make it collapsed. And the conditions are make it visible. So basically make the shadow visible when the wheel item is selected. All right, so when the wheel items aren't selected, everything looks very flat. The one that is selected, not only will it go red, but a shadow is produced as well. All right. That's pretty much it on that one. Let's see. Actually, before I open up another theme, there were some changes I did make pertaining really to custom images. Let's see. Yeah, let's go in at this one. So I had a request from Mr. Retrolust. He wanted the ability to build a 4K canvas, all right, because he wants to be able to create 4K custom images for the use of marquees, okay? So actually, let me not mess with that one. I'm going to go into a brand new canvas. So what have I forgotten? Is it 3840 by 2160? Is that right? Okay, so that's the size of the canvas. Now, my desktop resolution at the moment is 3840 by 2160. But look what happened. It dropped the editor scaling by default so it would fit. It set it to 70%. So in order to make images greater than your current resolution work in designer mode, I'm allowing to zoom out and zoom in. So now you can go down to 10%. All right. So you can make a canvas, I think you can make a canvas 8K and render at 8K if you want to. And it's no problem. All right. So, and I'll demonstrate this a little bit more with stuff populated, but I just wanted to make that absolutely clear that you can create a 4K custom image now. Even if your desktop resolution isn't running at 4K, it's still very possible, okay? All right, let's go back to wheel items. I know there was a, you know what? I'm adding some default or templates, if you will, to the theme components view that I'll use to ship with 2.5, and that way you're not building wheel items from scratch. You can take what's here and use them and change them up. It's up to you. So I've got a couple of variations here. Now this one, I think I demoed this last time, And I've got this silver ring, and it's actually a PNG, okay? I mean, I just did a search on the web, silver ring, PNG, and this is the one I found. It's not the cleanest, as you can see here. It's very kind of rough around the edges here. You don't really notice it when it's yay big, but it's rough nonetheless. And it's a PNG, all right? So for every wheel item, it's going to be utilizing this PNG, all right? So what I did, I took that, removed the silver ring, and replaced it with a frame and mimicked the same kind of thickness. I did a very kind of basic. Actually, I just took the assist values to create the gradient gold. Now I could easily use the gray if I wanted to. But anyway, I went with this color. And as you can see, we've got the, I kind of went overboard on some of these things here. It didn't have to be this complicated. Let me just move this out. I don't really need those in docs or anything. Let me just copy the layout and remove that doc. Just less UI elements. Let's just move this out, copy the location, paste the location into this image. There you go. Just make sure they're centered, centered. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So it just keeps it tidy. And then I have a dark mask that goes over the top. And the trick with this one was, I'm trying to remember. Was that the one? No, I'm sorry. It's this one. So I have this grid with a mask. And the mask is basically the, it covers the entire shape of this ring, okay? And when the item is not selected, I'm making this mask 50% opaque, and when it's selected, I'm essentially making it invisible. All right. So if you want to see what it looks like when it's on, as you can see, we've got this mask shape around the whole thing. And I could probably clean it up a little bit, I guess. Whoops. Would help if I use the right values. Really zoom in on this. I mean, it's right over the top. And I can probably do the same here. And we can validate it just by seeing if it covers the whole thing. And as you can see, we've got like a little bit of yellow protruding. Just get around that by doing that. So this dark mask covers the entire ring, okay? And like I said, that will be 50%. The opacity will be 50%. It'll look like that when it's not selected. And it'll look like that when it's selected, all right? So I didn't have visibility conditioning in place at the time, so I could easily just toggle this on or off based on visibility conditioning, you know. But I was using the opacity and alternate opacity values to control whether or not, you know, that item is at one level of opacity versus another. All right. So anyway, I just want to show that. Let's see what else we got. Showed you the PNG one. Yeah. I was just messing around with different things here. And this is kind of more on, you know, more on the lines of the same thing. So I have a silver ring, the game clear logo, the platform clear logo. In the background, I've got a screenshot and then fan art underneath that. So if you don't have screenshot, the fan art will show through, you know. And I've put a blur over the container, over the canvas. All right. It's set to 20%, so we get this effect. All right. And then, you know, just various things here. Now this one, I've set to landscape, and I've got color conditions on here, or I thought I did. So the color condition on this one will change the frame from transparent to this cyan or light blue color border when it's selected. And then I've got colors for the background. So by default, it's gray or a gradient, a gray gradient. And then for Sony related platforms, it's this blue. And then for Nintendo, I've got red. Okay. And I just stopped there. I didn't want to go too nuts. So we end up with, I'm just going to go to a view. So there's one using this template. All right. This view using the PNG versions. Again, I was just seeing, you know, what the performance would be like. And it's fine. And then this is the one with color conditioning. So we've got a blue background, a blue gradient background. And then if I pick Sinclair Spectrum, we'll end up with gray, because that's its default. And then if I pick any Nintendo platform, we end up with a red gradient background. All right. So that's where I'm at with wheels. And you know, it's super easy to switch them out. You just click on the wheel and select template. And I've got various templates here. There's one. Here's another one. Yeah. Yep. And then it's just a case of, how's the spacing looking? Do you need this many items? Do you want it closer to the camera, further away? I mean, it's entirely up to you. And we can always go over that when I'm done with version 2.5, and I'll probably go through in greater detail with all the various properties that pertain to the wheel now, and how the wheel item links to that. So we can go over, different variations of how you want your wheel to look, spacing, positioning, and all this kind of good stuff. So I'm not going to do that right now because obviously I'm still working on this stuff. But I promise you, when I'm done, and it will be a very lengthy video going through all the features of 2.5, and obviously the biggest feature is covering the wheel. I will go into the wheel in greater detail. All right. Now I'm going to hop into another theme that a friend of mine, Rincewind, also on the forum, he is testing my code as I get to certain milestones, and I release a version to him, and he's working on a new variant of his slider theme. Because before, all the wheel item content was done using user source. Obviously, we want to move away from that, and you can design your own. You don't have to learn XAML. So what platform are we in? SNES. So if I pick the configuration for SNES, there you go. There's your wheel for SNES. And, this is what it looks like. This is how it's going to act. I think it looks pretty damn cool. And then I'll pick a different configuration. So that one is a landscape wheel item template. Let's pick Sony PlayStation. And this is square. All right. I think it looks really cool. And then Game Boy Advance, Dreamcast, they all use the square wheel item template, along with Capcom. So all these pretty much use square with the exception of SNES, at least in my collection. All right. And then with the default, with, let's say, PlayStation 2, it would look like that. All right. And again, I think this looks really, really cool. So as you can see, it's fairly easy to put wheel item templates together using the editor. Using the editor when you're in this modifier, the wheel item template. It's just like constructing a view. It's dead easy. You've got all the metadata values or fields available to you. You can punch up all the images and whatnot. I mean, it's no different if you've used the theme creator to build views. This mode of wheel item template, it shouldn't be alien to you. All right. That is pretty much it for now. I am actually using the latest wheel code from the latest release of Big Box, which is what, 13? And I have been playing around with some of the 3D that was released with it, and that is the next set of changes or additions that I'm going to add as far as wheel is concerned, to allow for 3D horizontal, 3D vertical wheels. And then I believe there's a 3D box view or cartridge view that you want to add to the screen. And when you're running in big box, you can rotate it and all this kind of good stuff. So I've got those things to add. And then that pretty much concludes the 2.5 build for now. So I've got my work cut out for me. I've got a lot of testing to do. I still have a lot of code to do. The metadata text I'm yet to add for the wheel items. So I feel fairly confident I'm done with the imaging side of things for wheel items now. And I've just got text to go. So once I'm done with text, and I should be done with that by the end of the week, then I've got the 3D wheels to focus on, and I've got some ideas on that too. So yeah, probably another week and a half, I'll be able to show off all of that. And then, like I said, after that, I've got a ton of testing to do. It's just ridiculous amount. So anyway, that is where I'm at. So hopefully you like what you see as far as how easy it is to create your own wheel items and assign them to your views. And obviously you guys are probably excited about using the new 3D features in the wheels. So just bear with me. It is coming. I just haven't fully fleshed that stuff out yet because it was so newly released. All right. So give me a week and a half and I should have something to demonstrate. All right. So take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.